All right, in this lesson, this is part two of applications involving radians, arc length. It's not always going to be radians, but it could be radians, but mainly we're talking about arc length. So on this one, we have two different size gears are turning. If the smaller gear rotates 225 degrees, then how many degrees will the larger rotate? So if we kind of just go through this, we'll have kind of the small arc. The small arc is going to be, it rotated 225 degrees. So again, an arc is just a fraction of a circumference. So whether you're given in radians or you're given it in degrees, it's going to be a fraction, so something out of 360 or something out of 2 pi, and then just times your circumference. So we have 2 pi times our radius, and then we have 225 degrees out of 360 degrees. So whatever that turns out to be, that's the small arc. Now the large arc is 2 pi times 4.8, and then we don't know the degree, and that's the question being asked. So the interesting thing is, whatever this distance is that it turns, this distance will be the same. The difference is this is going to be definitely a bigger portion of the circle than this one will be. So that measurement, the degree measurement, is going to be definitely larger than the degree measurement on the large arc. But as far as the actual lengths of both of them, they have to turn and be exactly the same. This will just turns less. So with that in mind, that just means that this arc is going to be equivalent to this arc. And then we can solve for the degree. So if you put this into a calculator, your small arc is going to be about 9.817. And then that's going to equal all of that. And so that's going to be 2 pi times 4.8 times, we don't know, out of 360. So if you solve, we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply by 360 to both sides. It clears out the 360, but then at the same time you're going to be dividing by this whole chunk. 2 pi and 4.8. Alright, and then we'll put that all into the calculator. All of this stuff cancels, and so that's going to leave you with your degree measurement. So your degree measurement is, and be careful how you type this into the calculator, if it's a TI-84 or something like that, you're going to have to put this in parentheses or actually press your fraction button on there, and then you can kind of separate them out very nicely. But it's going to be roughly 117.2 degrees. And that is if gears are turning and one is smaller than the other and it turns in a certain degree, you're trying to figure out the other degree. And again, going back, it was us setting the arcs equal to each other and solving for what's missing. All right, so that was part two of arc lengths.